Hi everyone, my name is Ann Rogers. I'm a data manager at PMA, and the purpose of this video is to teach users how to fork repositories from one organization to another or to their personal accounts. If you are looking for help with GitHub or GitKraken, please see our other videos, the GitHub Help site, GitKraken support website, or the SOP. In previous videos, we've discussed what a repository is and how to create one. However, the next step is forking repositories. Occasionally, users will need to fork repositories from other organizations. Forking a repository allows a user to take a repository that already exists and copy it into their organization or their personal accounts. A reason a user might want to fork a repository is if the organization that hosts the repository doesn't allow the user to directly edit the repository, or perhaps the user wants to make changes to the files in the repository without affecting the other organization's files. At PMA, the country organizations in GitHub have forked repositories from the PMA DM organization, which is hosted out of JHU. Now, to fork a repository, you go to the repository itself. Here we are going to go to the fork repository in the PMA training organization. This takes you to the repositories page where you can see the name of the repository, the description of the repository, the files in it and their most recent commit, as well as the full README. Now, if I wanted to fork this repository to my personal account, I would go up here where it says fork. Select this, and then it asks, where should we fork this repository to? I have the options to fork it to my account or to organizations where I'm the owner of the account. In this instance, I'm going to fork it to my personal account. However, occasionally users at PMA may fork repositories from the PMA DM organization to their country-level organizations. In the process of forking, and then that's it. It's been forked to my account. You can see my name and then the repository name. Some features of forked repositories are that they remain connected to their source repository. So as you can see on this repository page, we have this line that says, this branch is even with PMA training master, indicating that the master branch in this forked repository is even with the master branch in the source repository. In later videos, we will go over what it means to submit a pull request from a forked repository. Another feature of forked repositories is that they retain the same privacy or public settings as the source repository. Here, if I go to Settings, and I scroll down to the privacy settings, I cannot make this repository private because the source repository is public. This is also true in reverse. If the source repository is private, I cannot make it public. Finally, when you have a forked repository and you're using GitKraken, it is important to make sure you clone the forked repository and not the source repository, particularly if you are in the organization that hosts the source repository. So for example, in my own GitKraken, if I go to clone a repo, and I go to github.com, I need to make sure that I clone the fork repository that is in my account and not the one from the training organization. And that's that with forked repositories. To learn more about GitHub, GitKraken, and how PMA uses them both, check out our other videos and the SOP. Thanks!